All right, so doing this, we were able to know how to solve quadratic equation. Okay, so let's look at cubic functions. Okay, like I said, if you want to solve any equation, what do? You just press the mode and go to number 5, which is equation mode, and choose the one with the cubic function. That is the one with the degree of 3, right? So I press 4. So now the cubic function is given as ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d equals 0. Okay, so if I want to press this, I just look at where my coefficients are. So it means the coefficient of x cubed is a. So I just come here, x cubed coefficient is what, 3. I just press 3. I punch equal to, like I said, then 1 equal to, then negative 3 equal to, and the d is what, negative 2 equal to. Now we are done. So if you punch equal, like the equal sign, it will solve and give us x1 to be 1.109, and you press the x1 equal to again, x2 will be negative 0.721, then you point equal to again, x3 will be this. Okay, so it means that is how the calculator works for equations in terms of cubic, linear equation, quadratic equation, and the rest. Okay, so I hope you are okay with this. Okay, so if you want to just change everything, you can press AC, then you press mode and press 1. It will take you to the normal interface. Okay, so now let's look at other forms of things or other things that calculator can solve. Okay, so let's say I'm dealing with complex numbers. Okay, and I'm supposed to solve this complex number question, that is I times 1 plus 2i. Okay, if I have I times 1 plus 2i, how do I go about this? Okay, so like I said, in everything that you do on a calculator, you have to change the mode of the calculator to the correct mode that it will understand these terms. Okay, so let's say I want to do a complex number question. All that I need to do is make sure that I've changed this calculator mode to the I mode. So what do? I press mode, then go to number 2. That will give us the complex mode. Okay, so I press number 2 here. So you see on top of the calculator we have complex. I hope you can see. Okay, you have complex. Then if I want to point anything, I have I times that. Where do I see I? Look on top of all these. Where do you see I? There's an I here on top of the English. And this I is colored what? The color of I is what? Red, right? So if I want to call for I, what do I press? I press alpha, then I. Sorry, let's see the color clearly. What is the color? Okay, shift plus this, and it gives us I. Okay, the color of I is not red, like I've been trying to know the color, but the color is not deep red. It too is not yellow. Let's just have it in mind that you use shift to call for I. Okay, so I into brackets, what's 1 plus 2i? That is the question, right? 2 shift, then I, it will come. Then we press equal to. We've asked the calculator to solve this for us. So simply the answer is minus 2 plus I. I hope this is okay, because if I multiply this by that, I will get 1i. If I multiply this by that, I'll get 2 times I squared, and I squared is negative 1, so we can negative 2 plus I. I hope this is okay, right? Okay, so let's say I want to do summation. This complex number plus this complex number. Okay, the top one plus the down one. So this, I just press on. We know that automatically is in the complex mode. So let's say it wasn't in the complex mode. We say press mode and you go to what? 2, which is complex mode. Then in one bracket you are saying you have 1 plus 2i. The I is shift plus I, then plus in another bracket 2 plus 3i, shift plus I, and if I do this, this will give me 3 plus 5i. This is okay, right? So let's say I have a complex number and I want to change this to a polar form. Okay, I want to change it to the polar form is r into bracket cos of theta plus I sine theta. Okay, but if you know the theta and then the r, you'll be able to write, right? So always we calculate for our r and our theta. But let's say I don't want to calculate for the r. I don't want to stress myself by calculating for the r and the theta. What do I do? So we have a complex number 1 plus what's I. This is the question you are changing to the polar form. Okay. Then after punching this, then I press equal to. I know this is how the answer is. If I want to know the polar form of this, I just have to press shift plus 2, which has the complex on it. Okay, the color of this 2 is what on top is what yellow. So it has the complex on it. I press shift plus 2, and this will give me an option. Do I want to change it to, or do I want to calculate for its argan? Okay, the argan is what argument is what its modulus or its length, and the conjugate of it. Okay, so let's say if I want the argument, I press 1. Argument of what? 1 plus I. Okay, so shift I, and they will give me 45, which is 45 in polar form is what? Pi on 4. Okay, so that is it. Let's say I want a different thing. Once you are in the complex mode, press shift plus 2, and then you can press 2, the conjugate of 1 plus I, and this gives me the conjugate to be 1 minus I. Okay, that is the solution, the conjugate for it. Let's say I want the polar form, that is the length and the angle straight away. So I have 1 plus I, and I know it's like this. I want to change this 1 plus I to its polar form, and then the polar form we need what? The length or the argument. Sorry, the modulus, and we need the angle, that is the argument. So I press shift plus 2. So I want to change it 3, and then it changes everything to what? Square root of 2 and then the angle is 45. So if you want to write this in terms of sine and cos, it's square root of 2 into bracket cos of 45 plus I sine 45. In terms of radians, you write square root of 2 then into bracket cos of pi over 4 plus I sine pi over 4. So note that 1 pi is equal to 180 degrees, so or 180 degrees equal to what? 1 pi. So if I have any degrees and I want to change the degree to polar form, I just divide the degree by 180. Okay, I hope that is okay. I hope that is okay, right? So let's continue. Okay, we are done with complex numbers, and let's change the mode back to our normal mode. And always the normal mode is the first one. Okay, so let's say I want to do combination and permutation. I'm working with probability, and let's say I've gotten 5 combination 2. How do I point this? Quickly shift, you press your 5, then shift with the combination sign is on top of the division. Okay, then 2. And this will give me what? 10. We are done. Okay, let's say I want to do 6 permutation 3. I want to I press 6, then permutation 3. Okay, and that is 120. All this is okay. So let's say I want to do the addition of them. So I have 5 combination 2 plus 6 permutation 3. This is 130. This is okay, right? So this will save you a lot of time. Okay. The next one we will deal with how to use the calculator to find the mean. We're going to do how to use the calculator to find the mean, variance, and standard deviation. Okay, so that it will save us a lot of time when you are doing statistics. Okay.